Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we have our second best of the three tonight between Premier Esports and All4One. This is Playday Week 2 of ESA Contender Series, and we're going to be getting right on into the action shortly. I'm CDAPS, joined by the wonderful, soothing voice of the one and only Slayzilla.
Thank you. Yeah, so what a compliment, man. But let's check out the map bans real quick. All4One said no coastline. Then, Premier answered back and they said, let me tell you about something else. No villa. They don't want to go to villa. But their first map pick, let's check that out. Where are we going to go first? Looks like Clubhouse. So, Clubhouse, very fun map. But second map, of course, will be the theme park. Then 2 extra bands. Consulate gets sidelined, and then Oregon, I believe, will be next up the list because our final little place is going to be Cafe Dostoevsky, which is all very good and fun. So Clubhouse coming up. It is the big old All4One coming up against the other big old Premier Esports, who will stand on top at the end of this crazy matchup. Well, I don't know, but CDAPS, what insight can you give us to our first map, Clubhouse?
Well, Clubhouse is one of those maps that is very structured in how you have to push it. It's just one of those really utility heavy maps where every op is just so impactful. But speaking of those ops, they're going to be taken by the players. We can go ahead and read down those rosters real quick. On the All4One side, they have Arcturus, Og, Inverted, Bladehawk, and Mob. And then over on the Premier Esports side, they've got Nomad, ya boy Flawless, Low Key, Toph, and Jello.
Oh yeah, both of these teams are really, really fun to watch. They're both veterans of the last season. I was able to cast for them a couple of times. Premier is a great team, but we are actually missing Demon from Premier. He's one of the main guys that we see a lot. Nomad and Demon, 2 of the big fraggers for the team, but he won't be seen. So interesting. We'll have to wonder what happened to him. But here we go into our first map that will once again be Le Clubhouse. Let's check out the bands. Most likely Thatcher and Maverick, 2 very, very good bands to take out. For the defensive side, at least, you really want to not go up against a Thatcher and a Maverick. So I'm going to guess those as my main 2 picks, but who knows? We may be surprised and sidelined by... No, okay. Thatcher band makes sense here. Let's see if I'm going to be 2 for 2.
Yeah, Thatcher's just one of the, or Thatcher and Maverick are both just some of those operators that make it so easy to get open the walls that are
Mm-hmm.
really crucial and instrumental towards every single site. All 3 of them have some important walls slash hatches. And yep, you are absolutely correct in your assumptions of the bans. But I'm going to go on the defensive side, use a little bit of brain power, and say a Mira Echo. Let's see if
All
I'm
right.
correct here.
Any order, though, man. Any
Yep,
order.
Echo
You got
first,
one.
and we'll see if Premier's going to take the Mira off the board. That's one of those operators that can really just transform any bomb site just by having her presence. Those Mira windows are quite challenging indeed to deal with. And no, it's a Kaid ban. Definitely one that I should have seen coming, as they really go hand in hand with a Thatcher ban, as if a Kaid is left on the board with Thatcher gone, it's nearly impossible to get those hatches open unless you have the Maverick. And since the Maverick was banned, you got to have the Kaid banned. So Mira will be in play, but might not be shown, as she's one of those operators that's really high commitment. If you bring a Mira, you have to have your entire team playing around that bit of utility and having those angles being open to get intel and challenge certain choke points. Not every team has that in their back arsenal because of how a lot of teams ban her, so why waste your time on it? Right here, flashing the bandit pick is Toph, switching quickly to a Goyo. Maybe they're going to try to get a little bit of a site fake going on, as typically a bandit is brought onto the upstairs site, but not really downstairs unless you really don't want Church Wall to be opened. But at this point, the attackers are going to struggle enough on their utility side to break open the hatches. Probably not going to worry about that wall as much.
Yeah, Clubhouse is one of those good old maps where the defense can go pretty hard if they're able to. We see some score lines that are very, very close, 3-3, others that are more in the 4-2 range. But Church Arsenal is definitely a great site to go to. But talking to Clubhouse, let me tell you, man, just earlier today, I was playing a little bit of that good casual. We went to Clubhouse, and I ended up getting an ace with Doc, and I felt so proud of myself. So just a little congratulations to me. Thank you. But let's see how these guys set up their defense. Once again, without the Kaid, the hatches will be a little bit harder to defend, but without the Kaid, it makes it possible, like you were saying, to actually go for them and try to open them up. Let's find out where Premier is going to hold from and where All4One wants to make their move. Looks like we do have a little bit of a roam coming in the upstairs area over here by CCTV. Let's see what's going to be going on.
There's going to be an initial spawn peek coming out of low key, looking high key on the aggression, but it won't pan out as your boy Flawless is starting to feel the pressure in towards Cash Room as both Og and the Ash of Mob will start pushing him back. He drops the hatch, he rotates down to the bottom of Lounge, and more drone work is going in as the meticulous All4One attackers are not going to leave any stone unturned. Low key makes his way all the way back into sight as every single attacker is on this third floor. They're going for the full commitment on the top down roam clear, and probably the first engagements will be over towards New Blue, where the Jaeger of your boy Flawless is residing, and Verdant is creeping down those red stairs. He might not know exactly that your boy Flawless is laying in wake to prey on his downfall.
Always a little bit sketchy here with the very Well, Inverted was able to get that headshot very quickly. Your boy Flawless was unable to do much of anything, and advantage goes to All4One in the man count arena. We'll see how that continues to play a part in this push, but already half the round has been wasted away. We're now seeing vertical control being established by the lovely Sledge himself. He wants to make sure he can put pressure on those guys, and here we have the bar hatch open. That'll provide ample room to jump on in. Let's see where that will go. Right now, Toph holding an angle on the ladder, wants to make sure no one's coming in from there, playing pretty up close in the utility room in blue, rather. Let's see if he can do something big as well. But with under a minute to go, the attack needs to begin pretty soon here. We'll see them really, everyone gets set up. They all kind of line up ready to go. The trick coming, does it get it? Looks like it does indeed. A very nice job from Jello to deny that. No, he says, you will not be getting in through this hatch. That'll slow them down a little bit, and with 30 seconds, but however, they will blow it up. I believe, yeah, it's going to be a nice job from the ex-Kairos. And with 20 seconds, we're about to see the big rush and a flurry of kills. Let's do the game. Let's see if I can keep up with them all. Mob already right in here, ready to go, and boy, oh boy, is Loki opening up first. Og goes down immediately. Mob finds Nomad as it's a tit for tat. Mob with another Arcturus finds Loki. All of a sudden, it's all upon Jello, as like you said, things just go real quickly.
No.
But can you believe that? A beautiful job to deny the plant. Oh my goodness.
Premier pulled out with that Maestro the clutch of his life. All anybody on the attacking side would have had to do was shoot that open Maestro cam, or even just stand in front of it and take the bullets. But with the Thermite being on a low HP from the engagements that he was a part of early on, it was only about 5 or 6 shots, so a very small window for anybody to react. Really well played from the Maestro of Premier. And they take a round that they arguably definitely shouldn't have, but the smart piece of utility play is what's characteristic of Clubhouse. Utility reigns supreme. You have maps like Cafe, where I say vertical play reigns supreme, but on Clubhouse, it's all about that utility, baby.
Oh, man. Utility indeed. There are a couple guys you don't want to leave on the board at the end of a round. Smoke is one, Maestro is another, and then finally Echo is always a little bit of a problem. But dang, that Maestro did exactly what he was supposed to do. I can imagine it's just a few seconds less, and that wouldn't have worked out. But fantastic work as they were able to get it going and shut down All4One, but All4One had a pretty heavy-handed attack. I think it was a 4-1 when the plant was going down. We'll see if they can perform the same as they move in now onto the lovely side of CCTV.
CCTV is a site that we've seen fall out of grace from a lot of teams as people are a lot more successful downstairs, especially with a Maverick and Thatcher ban. Getting those hatches just requires so much utility to be dumped, especially with the really easy way to impact trick it. You just throw a Pokeball up there, say I choose you, and breaching will not occur. You have to dump all 3 X-Kairos down that way, making it very, very necessary to bring the double hard breach combination, just as we're seeing the static lineup of All4One go in this way. However, they don't have the Zofia this time. Og has picked up the Capital, most likely going to attempt to place on in a nice smoke plant as Toph just sprints straight across the breach after getting his little bit of HP back from the stem. He lost a good amount of that precious health points from down below when Mob was able to place a nice breaching charge to his feet, effectively denying the bandit trick. But what could be even more dangerous is Bladehawk out here getting the frag from down below. The flawless execution to take out your boy Flawless. That's something that is not easy to do. However, Nomad is going to answer back as Doc, but he's going to be refragged out in his animation of getting back up.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, great frag there. Really put the pressure onto Premier as, well, they're going to have to defend off once again a 4v2. That was quickly a 4v1. Let's see if they can do so again. Opening up that CCTV wall is so nice. Loki's still down here on the first floor. And oh man, coming in up. He wants to find somebody. Loki will find Arcturus. He's playing down, but he's getting the kills he needs to. Jello low and dead now as Bladehawk finishes him off with the SMG. Plant preparing to go down. Inverted will do the honors. Could be shut down, but no. Mob instead will find the headshot onto Loki, making sure he goes nowhere. What a job, as All4One are able to kind of right what happened on the first round, which really should have been theirs.
Yeah, answering back any round on attacking Clubhouse is going to be a precious resource that All4One is going to want to go towards. This is their map pick, and that's why they're starting on the attack, the quote-unquote worse side. But the way that they've attacked so far has looked really good. That was sort of a dominating performance on CCTV, showing why I said earlier that it's a little bit of a fall from grace. It's a little bit harder to hold on to than it was at first because people found those nice angles down below to just blast explosives, not only frag grenades, but also any Zofia or Ash charges to kill or even just really damage the bandit trickers.
Could have turned out differently, perhaps. Looks like they're going to try again. They feel confident that they can right their wrongs here. And this is a team so far that has kind of been losing out on those initial gunfights. Of course, the opening frag here was from Bladehawk with a beautiful nade that you can't really do much against. That's just skill and a little bit of luck, perhaps, come into play there. So we'll see if they're going to change something up, what they're going to do, maybe a little bit more active on the bandit trick. Of course, that can be easily mitigated by opening up the floor beneath him and giving a little bit of trouble there on his feetsies. So that could be a potential problem. Though my there is trying to stop a little bit of utility usage as well as we're preparing for round 3 to start. Here it goes. All4One are looking pretty strong, despite the big mistake they made of allowing, Inverted to go down to that Evil Eye.
Yeah, the Evil Eye was just a round taken away that shouldn't have been that way. But Inverted is going to be placing down, actually deciding not to because he hears the very characteristic electricity of those bandit batteries being placed down. He doesn't want his thermite charge to go bye-bye because you only get 2 of them. They're very, very precious, especially with how strong they are to breaking open all of those angles as well as those reinforced walls. Some drone work is going down below as Arcturus is opening up the nice long angle for potentially the Capital to bolt on through. Actually, never mind, the X-Kairos pellets are jammed, so there's going to take a little bit of garage control to get that open, but they're going to have to go through Nomad, who ironically to the name is actually on the dock playing upstairs in the rafters, but who's all the way downstairs as the Jaeger being droned out as your boy Flawless decided not to sit on site anymore if he's just going to get naded from down below.
Well, let's see how the remainder of this round will go. Like you said, they're doing a pretty good job at shutting them down with the breaching charges and such, or rather the Excaros and Thermite charge. We'll see if that will be eventually mitigated by some work underneath. We aren't seeing the Zofia brought, though, which is usually brought in order to do just that and try to get the bandit and his batteries out of here. Time is ticking right now. They do have smoke in and they're ready to potentially try to push in, but it's still a very sketchy situation when you're just going to try to jump in there. Dash will be doing what Zofia does, and she does it fairly well as well. And a nice charge there will be opening up the CCTV wall. That means everything is out in the open, left to dry, and this will put a lot more pressure on the guys of Premier. They're going to have to play very well now in order to not let these guys flood them. 45 seconds remain means that that flood is going to happen fairly soon, so be prepared for that. It is a 5v4 as your boy Flawless has died yet again, unfortunately for him. But now, time to push in is coming soon. You can see them all readied up. They want it. Shot there. Oh my goodness, they're just coming up the stairs. How is Bladehawk alive? He gets a shot, but it'll be low-key to immediately refrag onto Mob. Now in a 4v3 situation, Bladehawk so low on HP, he could just grab the stims from Doc. That would be a cool feature, but alas, no, you cannot do that. More shots are coming out, 10 seconds. They need to be able to take control of something. Inverted is going for the plant, but Arcturus with a headshot onto Toph. Jello fires back, and Og once again onto Loki. Plant goes down, but All4One with Arcturus finishes it up with a nice headshot onto Jello. All4One looking very, very dominant so far on these attacks.
And it's just absolute calculated aggression coming out of All4One. Sure, the time was ticking away, and I was getting a little bit worried, but at the end of the day, that's the 20-second meta for you. It just goes from 0 to 100 real quick, and all of a sudden you go from a 5v4 to a 3v0. And after everything was said and done, All4One takes another round, and they solely take possession of the lead as well, which is definitely a big props up to them. We're going to see a return downstairs to basement, church, and arsenal as Jello hops onto that infamous Maestro once again. A very similar setup for all of these operators on both the attacking and defensive side, but there's actually a bit of a difference here as Valk is being brought for top, and it's going to bring a little bit of extra utility on the information gathering side into the Premier defense, as they can correctly and really read into the positions of All4One and sort of adjust their defense accordingly.
Yeah, this is, I doubt Lightning is going to strike twice and they'll be able to save the defuse with that lovely Maestro cam, as much as I would love to see it happen. That would be absolutely epic. We'll see what they're going to do to try to stop that 20-second meta. It is just so powerful, it seems. It's really, really hard to stop. You spend all that time setting up, getting rid of the utility, and you just explode onto site as the seconds are dying. Puts a lot of pressure on both sides as time is going quickly away, and they try to get in so fast. It's unfortunate, man, that they just can't do something else, but you know, that is the way the 20-second meta goes. It works, and if it works, you're gonna do it. A couple little bullet holes lined up as well as they're preparing to defend. This is a very, very big defense here, very vertical, as they're sending that man all the way up on the second floor. Already, though, taking control of Garage, they'll move in. You see your boy Flawless chilling there in cash. He's gonna move out, looks to go to construction, perhaps into the bedroom. Loki here as well in the bathroom chilling. These two could cause big problems if they are not cleared out sufficiently, but they are sending quite a couple of operators in order to do just that.
And that's the backside pressure coming out of cash room. There's going to be right as that pressure comes in, your boy Flawless goes, yeah, I'm out of here, and leaves Loki out to dry, and he's going to be dancing with the Zofia, tossing a Nitro Cell, but it's going to be a little bit too high, but Bladehawk's going to deliver that final blow with that L85. The Sledge will pick that up, but after killing about 1 minute and 15 seconds, it's not the end of the world on your roam, especially since your boy Flawless was able to fully fall back into sight, keeping him around for the last bit of the round. But more drone work is going to go in as your boy Falaz is actually rotated all the way over towards Billiards inside and actually outside of Strip Club. Could get a nice flank on if his position is left unknown, as All4One probably, nope, they know exactly where he is. They're going to light him up a bit. Now he's going to fully tuck tail and run downstairs, destroying a drone on his way back. However, he's not going to get that far, as even more utilities being wasted away and trying to find his location. Now Moto Hatch is going. He can't find a place to sit and feel comfortable, because All4One is just continuing their pressure here, even as the time continues to dwindle away. There's about 50 seconds left on the board, and it's a 5v4. All4One's doing a really great job to stay alive, but they don't have that much map control. It's going to be a little bit of a rush for them coming out.
Yeah, you still see guys outside here. Looks like Inverted's going to be trying to go through that lovely dirt tunnel, and with 35 seconds left, they need to be setting up to go quite quickly. Inverted could really, really mess up the entire game plan if he dies quickly here at the edge of the tunnel. Looks like he's gonna rotate around, but with 20 seconds, he's gotta go. Nomad's gonna get the refrag onto Bladehawk after a long while. Beautiful shot there from Nomad again, as Mob will go down. It's Jello and then Toph and then Jello again, as that ended so quickly. If time wasn't gonna take him out, then these guys certainly were. What a shot from Jello. Boy drops on in, and you say, no sir, not today.
And just like that, the Maestro is just responsible for winning around it again. First, he clawed it away with the use of his cams. This time, the use of the a little bit more deadly, in my opinion, 81 bullets of the Alda, and all of them just holding left click and sending them downrange, catching bodies, doing damage, all of those things. But, the ACOG was the problem, right? Right, Slay? It was the ACOG, right?
It's the ACOG, man, obviously. Oh, man. What would you do? How would you nerf out the Maestro?
I think he's in a perfectly fine place. He's a strong operator, but if there weren't strong operators, then, I mean, it's just the way it goes. He's a very good anchor, and he's useful to the team. That's why he's there. There's always going to be a sort of gravitation towards certain ops, but, I mean, I think he's fine. He's not necessarily quote-unquote overpowered. He has 2 cams that are bulletproof, and he has a Alda, but he's also slow and very loud, but typically just sits on site.
I agree. He's in a pretty solid place. Very scary operator, though. He's I feel like he's got a nice high skill cap to him as well, as you really do have to be kind of a good player with those cams to be effective with them. I know my cams get destroyed a whole lot when I try to play them. But you see some pretty cool moves where you just shoot one and then turn away real quick. It's always fun to see. But here on CCTV, we will indeed be not seeing the Maestro. He's gone for now. Instead, we've got our lovely loadout. We got the Mute. We've got the Jaeger. The Doc, once again, most likely going to be chilling, trying to hold out. Low-key here, ready to use his life to hold this garage. Garage is one of those key pieces in the puzzle of taking over this site. CCTV is kind of along the same lines. As there are a lot of different ways you come in, and the more, almost the better, until some part when you're spread too thin. But it's definitely nice to give pressure on a couple of different sides, which is usually what you'll see. The Capital of Og is going to be pretty important as well. You saw it used last time to great effect, as it kept the bandit off of the wall, losing his ability to do any tricking. It allowed the big old explosion to go down and the wall to fall, and that was really, really crucial to All4One. But here we are tied up 2-2. Premier has a chance to take the lead for the second time in the game. They were able to do that right off the bat with a beautiful job. Well done. As he's going to be angry, looking for revenge. There is Toph. Your boy Flawless takes down Mob for the first pick of the round. That's a good shot onto the fantastical Ash. She'll be dead and gone now. The opening frag or the opening fragger, depending on how we play. But look at this push coming through right here on construction. They are ready to go. Great job there with the fire. It's going to slow him down oh so much. And now you've got a lot of pressure to deal with. However, they still have a good chance. Inverted is going to make that chance a little bit worse. So you take down the mute. That's another gun off the board. And now with 1:12 to go, a lot of pressure on both sides to finish this round up.
Yeah, there's going to be some bullet holes and other sort of angles opened up by Jello as he's going to try to toss a disc inside a cache, because that is very evidently where All4One wants to push. Last time they went straight through the breach. This time they're switching it up, showing they can do it both ways. Jello is going to be swinging out, and he'll get punished for his over-aggression, but not before our Toph gets a refrag onto Inverted. Og will also pick up another kill on that refrag onto Toph. Bladehawk doesn't have a whole lot of HP, but he is the definitive man advantage here, but not until your boy Flawless gets a nice flank and is able to pick up not one, but two, all the way 3 for the triple kill, but Og will end up that. It is all up to Flawless versus Og. 1v1. Og will win. All4One takes another round on Clubhouse.
Oh my goodness, what a fight to the death that was. Capitao going to be able to win with a nice para, man. He's a cool operator. I think he's pretty dang solid at times, but he's pretty dang situational as well. So he'll be coming in pretty darn cool. So let's see what these guys can do now, because All4One has once again taken shortly to the end of this first half. There are 2 more sites that the guys over on Premier have to try to get us to a 3-3 potential. No. This is the last site. I'm looking at the numbers. I was like, wait, the math doesn't add up here. So Jim will be their last chance to make it into a 3-3, which is going to be a nice start for the guys over on All4One. So far, they've been doing a great job. Let's see if that can continue, as they would love to go 4-2 on their offense. But that said, Clubhouse can go both ways. Can be very nice on defense, but also can go just like this. And Premier, I'm sure, is ready to yell right back in their faces and say, we are not done quite yet.
Yeah, this is All4One's map pick, so you'd expect them to be comfortable like we've seen them so far on both sides, the attack, and we will be seeing the defense after this round. But taking a 4-2 lead really puts you in the driver's seats. You're going to look to continue your momentum rolling over and end out the map potentially kind of early. But we're going to see a nice horizontal roam, most likely coming out of the Premier defense, as you want to extend yourself fully into the cache area, making it just so you can hold the entire second floor. So with that, Toph's actually going to rotate all the way back downstairs and almost catch a few bullets to the back of the head as Mob pre-fires it away. The rest of the players are going to go upstairs all the way onto the roof. Actually, Mob's going to make his way into garage rafters. He might fall victim to the player in oil pit, but no, he's going to hang on with just a little bit of HP. About 27 is my bold prediction on that one. But we don't get to fully see the numbers. We just get to see the bars, and that's about on that approximation. Toph is now going to take that little bit of damage that he gave and rotate back underneath in bar, potentially playing for a nitro cell, but not before he hears a quick punch of a barricade towards the bottom of kitchen. Toph is still on the roam, on the prowl, trying to get some kills as he's going to nitro cell right below Mob and finish off the kill he was unable to get last time. And he's also going to creep all the way up red stairs and could find the Habana, but nope, the Habana's going to find him. Arcturus gets the refrag out onto Toph.
Oh my goodness, dude. That was a perfectly placed C4. The guy literally laid on it. But a nice job by the Arcturus, by the Habana rather, to finish off Toph after a nice little roam there. He was being very reactive, which is a good trait to have if you're going to be on the roam. You've got to be able to think on your feet. You can't just be chilling in the site. Instead, there's a lot of pressure on you. But the pressure is not quite here yet on the round. There are a couple guys who are beginning to make that happen. But still, with 1:15 to go, this would be a very quick push in if they were going to send it. First smoke canister will go down alongside that bolt, and a nice shot from Arcturus takes down your boy Flawless now in a 4v3 situation. Things looking a little bit better for the guys on All4One. Premier, however, full HP and great operators to keep at the end of the day. Jello with a great gun. Low-key, unfortunately, not the best gun, but hey man, doesn't matter about the gun if you're hitting headshots. And Nomad on the smoke, ready to just deny anything that comes their way. Now with 40 seconds left, you're starting to see a little bit of it. Low-key with a good shot onto Bladehawk. Like I was saying, headshots don't lie. Doesn't matter if you're using the worst gun in the game. Potentially, still win those fights. Inverted, though, takes down Jello, and now it is a 3v2. There goes your Bandit. No more MP7 to help you out. Nomad with a push in, though, or excuse me, with a deny of a push in. He's trying to get the headshot, but instead he will be headshotted by Inverted. A great kill. And now with one op standing, it's all going to be on low key with 14 seconds left. Inverted's going for the plant. He's got to get it down quite quickly now. But low key is going to hunt. However, the hunter becomes the hunted as Arcturus will finish him off.
Yeah, and you don't really need to plant the diffuser if you're just going to kill everybody, such as Arcturus picking up the 3rd kill of the round here, being able to remove 2 players off the backside and cash, as well as landing that final gut punch to secure the 4-2 half. Now, as the halves swap over to the defensive side, All4One is sitting pretty. They're high on their horses. They're riding the momentum wave that they were able to commit, and it's looking quite interesting so far, especially when you have a Warden pick on Inverted. That is one snazzy looking operator, but he's going to just tease me just a little bit and 6th pick it onto a more traditional Smoke, who actually he's going to 6th pick it again, maybe switch up to somebody else. Nope, he's going to lock in the man with the canisters. We're going to see some Wamai discs synergizing with those Jaeger ADSs as Arcturus and Bladehawk are going to try to shut down any projectiles that Premier is going to be throwing or launching at them over towards both the garage, maybe even down low to try to protect Mob on his banditry and lounge.
This is going to be an interesting round here. All4One on the defense. I'll see if it differs any than Premier, because it'll kind of tell us whether there's just a skill gap or this map is just a little bit attacker-sided for right now. We'll see, because honestly, if they can open up the door with the same precision and just be able to get in there and win their gunfights, well, then we could quickly see Premier make that comeback. They do have a lot of ops who will be dedicated to making sure that happens. You're seeing the Zulfia ready to bust open that floor from below. The IQ can shoot the bandit batteries from below as well, and then of course Toph and your boy Flawless as the hard breachers are ready to do work as well. Here go a couple of those beautiful little claymores trying to stop out the runouts in case someone gets a little bold. Archer's playing on the complete opposite. He's downstairs in the basement trying to make sure no one tries to do a little sneaky thing. Low key now making his way in as well. Archer's holding the angle, begging someone to walk through his sights. Low key beginning to provide some vertical pressure. Let's see if that goes both ways, though. No, Loki will find Inverted, doesn't take any damage back for his trouble. Smoke off the board immediately is a great pick to have, especially when you're planning to make a late round push. Arcturus now goes down too. Great shot from Jello, as this is looking very good for Premier. I think we're going to have a nice close game as the 2-minute mark hits. Man, All4One's going to have to figure out how to get these refrags.
Yeah, I mean, they still have a Nitro Cell in the back pockets of both AUG and Mob. Those could be some free kills if used correctly, but the locations are not quite the best. They can be challenged from multiple angles, such as we're seeing a nice long one held as the pre-fires towards the top of rafters do not quite pan out onto Bladehawk's skull. He's still going to be alive and kicking up there, but maybe not for long, as a whole slew of flashbangs are going to go in, trying to make him blind as the rest of his team starts to push in. And yep, he will be blind, but he's going to stay prone as nobody is quite pushing up the stairs yet. He's going to peek out and get his head ripped straight off, but not before a couple more frags fall out. Mob will pick one up before being taken back out by Jello. Loki is going to take a nice angle onto AUG, taking Premier on another round. I think the score is 4-3, correct?
I believe you are right. It was a 4-2 half, and now it is a 4-3 with All4One still on top by just one single round. Man, what a great attack. We really did see a very, very powerful move from Premier, and this could go certainly the other way. Let's head down to the basement down Church Arsenal, where they'll have yet another chance to prove themselves among the best of the defenders. Let's find out if they have what it takes. So far, we've seen some pretty great attacks. The defensives have been very cool when they've happened. Our first round was a Maestro denying the plant for the win. Just a beautiful play there. A little bit of a misstep, perhaps, from All4One. They could be in a better situation, but alas, they are not. And now they're struggling to make sure the Premier does not make this big comeback. They want to shut him down quick. But Premier isn't a team to be shut down. They are missing Demon, at least. I think another one I don't recognize, but they're still playing quite well. I wonder what happened to Demon. I'm sure I'll find out eventually, but Demon and Nomad were the dream team. Those two work together so well. However, let's see if these guys can work together nonetheless.
Yeah, with a whole bunch of rotate holes all over the place, it's going to be a very fluid and dynamic hold towards the bottom floor, probably a little bit more towards the anchoring turtle heavy style. There might be a roamer or two all the way upstairs. I think Arcturus has made his way. Nope, he's coming back, and he's going to be the blue player as it's a full turtle coming out from All4One on their defense. They sort of know that with the way they played, that full top-down roam clear, it takes a lot of time on its own. Even if there's nobody there, they can just continue to sit on site and wait for everybody to just flood in as the time goes away. There might be a little bit of impact tricking, making it difficult to get those hatches, but even more time wasted is always a good thing. Nomad is making his way onto the top of garage, trying to roam clear the whole top, but there's nobody there. So he does sort of have free reign on most of the map. Bladehawk's rotating in at the bottom here. We're just seeing a whole lot of drone work and a whole lot of pressure upstairs. Not a whole lot of action yet, unfortunately, but I'm sure that will be saved for the end of the round.
It always is, isn't it? Makes casting a little bit at the beginning, but at the end, man, let me tell you, it is tough to keep up with all the names that are being shown on the screen. It gets crazy. However, the setup is just as important as the rest of the round. They need to make sure they're going to be good as the aim is being practiced here. Look at those flicks by Mob, looking very good, very tight. Look at that. Oh, man, he's killing them all. Let's see if this little practice is going to work out and as he needs to shut down some of the final pushes from Premier. Kind of interesting to see him doing that. It's fun. It's fun to watch. But Inverted playing still quite far out in dirt. Doesn't look like there's many people pressuring him there. Vertical control, however, is starting to be established as Loki running the buck will try to get that bad boy going. Your boy Flawless with the bearing 9 in hand prepares to move on down as well. He wants to get that beautiful little hatch open. If he can do so, all the more better for his team. However, I'm sure an impact trick or two is waiting and ready. Looks like no, it did go off. So they are letting them resolve. That could be a big downfall and problem in the final minute of this round. Going to be very difficult to stop these guys from just jumping in, pile driving you. Oh, RKO out of nowhere. I'm intrigued to see how this final 40 seconds will go. Oh boy, it's coming down quick. Bladehawk trying to fight off some of these guys, making sure it won't be such an easy job of just moving in. Running the MPK or MP5K, and look at this, Toph ready to open as well, as this is going to be a push not only from some of these other places, but also from the old dirt tunnel. Inverted is there. He's going to start chucking his canisters as soon as he realizes someone's there. Looks like Loki has dropped down with 9 seconds left. It's going to be so tough. Inverted finishes off Loki. Toph takes Bladehawk, Arcturus on Jello, Og on Nomad, as we're now in a 4v2, but Toph and your boy Flawless both will find Og and Arcturus, and the defenders will be successful. All4One take back a 2-point lead.
Yeah, and even without a roam presence, just the very idea of a flank or any sort of operators unaccounted for really scared the attackers here, as they just were a little bit too complacent and weren't willing to push quite fast enough. I would love to see the Premier guys just get in there just a little bit faster so you don't have that stall out where you're unable to defuse the bomb. You can't get that diffuser down, and losing based on time is probably the worst feeling. Sure, if everybody dies, it's like, okay, they won their gunfights. But here, I think there was still 4 players alive total, and it just ends. It's an anticlimactic ending. We don't get to see all of that action culminate to anything. It's just hard cut off by the clock. But you can think of that clock as the 6th defender you have to fight, because it's definitely working against the attackers at all times.
Oh yeah, it's not on their side, that's for sure. Until they get the plant down, and then the little the timer becomes their ally, which is always fun to watch the retake happen. It can quite often fail, but when it's successful, it does look good. All4One now up 5-3 on Premier. They are on defense, and this is their map. They are 2 rounds away from winning out, taking us to Theme Park, which is Premier's map. They love going to Theme Park. This is one of those teams that will constantly take you to Theme Park. We watched it a lot last season thanks to them. Very, very fun map. We'll go ahead and see what happens there. But guess what? It's not quite over. Premier have a chance to really pull something crazy here and go ahead and take All4One's map choice. They're not too far behind, but they can fall further if they aren't careful. They lose this, they're going to be sitting on a 6-3 match point, having to win 3 in a row. If they win, it looks so much better. We've said it a lot, but Loki with a beautiful shot into Og already. Going to take down one of All4One's players. Og out of it now, as Wamai is defending up here in the lovely garage, holding it as best he can. Nomad, right now 3 kills on the night, playing the Zofia as they're continuing to make the pushes happen. They want to be sure to set up. You see the outline of our Thermite over there getting ready to get things open. Look at the timing and the teamwork that this takes. It's a beautiful thing to see communication happening, and we see it right there, right then, as the wall is opened onto CC.
Yeah, but they are going to have to deal with the shield over towards that back server rack, and it's not a position that's really easily challenged, especially when Mob can just hit his C key to uncrouch, have his shots lined up, and start blasting down range. There is still a 4v5, and your boy Flaws is going to take a good amount of damage over towards the garage at the hands of Bladehawk, just tucking pop shots towards that door, but he's going to be taken out via a trade. A little bit of an interesting interaction, but another frag is going to come out as the Zofia falls at the hands of Mob, but he doesn't have enough ammo to try to take out the Buck, and yep, the Buck is going to take him out, getting and securing the double kill for the round so far. It's all left up to Arcturus and Inverted, but the Smoke is one of those operators that you definitely want to have in this position as the clock keeps ticking. If all 3 Toxic Babe canisters are deployed properly, it can kill off about 30 to 35 seconds, which is definitely fast approaching for these Premier attackers. They're going to have to get in here and get their hands dirty, and it's probably going to come at the hands of Loki coming on the entry, but he might not read into the prone angle of Arcturus as he's going to get hit with the timing, and unfortunately on ADS right as the peak happens. There's some more going on as Inverted's trying to hold the top of red stairs, making sure that the player can't just sprint in, but Arcturus is going to finally find your boy Flawless, dropping the diffuser onto the ground, but not before it's reclaimed out by Jello, who's able to cross on into the breach as Loki takes out Inverted and picks up a 4th kill onto Arcturus, securing another round for Premier.
Yeah, you know, the game, or the round rather, started with Loki, a beautiful shot from below, and ended with a nice, I think, quad kill at the end of the day. So great work from Loki. He's really been absolutely essential to this Premier team, doing so much work for them. And now look at this. It's Premier with a chance to tie it up. If we go to round 11, we'll have a fun thing. If it's 5-5, we'll see one team be able to go to match point, while the other must struggle and fight back. I do believe we could definitely see overtime on this first map. These teams look very well matched up, but we'll have to see if that will be the case. You know, still just 2 rounds away from winning this out. However, it's just 3 rounds now for the guys over on Premier. Closing the distance is what they've done, but All4One seems to be quite good at running away a little bit further every time they catch up. We're going here to the 2nd floor once again. It's going to be Gym this time. Gym bedroom is usually kind of considered the off-site, not as strong as the others, but some teams make it work, and you know what? If it works, go do it. Flaunt it about.
Yeah, it's one of those sites that's really critical on the defensive rotation, because that's sort of where you build your lead. On a traditional clubhouse, you would expect CCTV and basement to be one because they're very strong sites in their own right. But if you really want to get those big defensive leads, it all comes down to Gym bedroom. As well as on the attacking side, you really need to know how to attack that site in order to properly string a couple of rounds together if you're not able to quite pull them out on the 2 primary sites. But the spawn peak is not going to pan out for Bladehawk, as he was looking aggressively towards the bottom of Billiards, but unfortunately for him, nobody spawned that way, as they're split on both the west and east side of the map. There's a hard breach team and there's a soft breach team that they're going to look to try to get Jacuzzi wall, as well as start pressuring over the horizontal roam that's being employed towards Cash Room.
It'll be interesting to see if they can open that up. That going to be pretty dang essential to this push, as it allows a lot more pressure. We're seeing that now is these teams, these defensive teams, the less amount of angles that they need to watch, the better they do. And that is pretty obvious, but it's really quite true. You see those bandit batteries placed in a position where they're least likely to be taken out by the Zofia lifeline charge. Hopefully that'll work for them, but we'll have to see. They have kind of pushed off a little bit, looking to go around Nomad. The Zofia has an important role here. We'll see if she can fulfill it. They might have ditched the entire idea of it, or perhaps trying to get it from a different side, shooting it through Jim could potentially work. But that is a sketchy little move there. You don't want to lose your hard breacher at this point.
Yeah, your hard breachers are very important here, as both of them are locked up over towards the jacuzzi wall, but Toph is going to be the one to take the first step because those exothermic charges open just a little bit bigger of a hole than a couple of X-Kairos. But with that, there's a rotation as both Germans pass off their little bit of engineering knowledge downstairs. They're both Roman, and they're both going to be trying to go on the flank, potentially Bladehawk rotating all the way around to put pressure from Garage over towards CCTV cache area server. Now he's actually going to be going for a punch hole, a little bit of a cheeky peek towards anybody out on the windows, but those players are long gone and he will not be able to find them quite yet. But somebody could rotate there quite easily, but the first shot's going to go out as Toph rings the head of Og, and Arcturus also takes a good amount of damage, but not before Mob takes out Low-Key, dropping the Buck off, who has been quite a dominant player so far. But Jello's going to get that refrag out, put the man advantage back into the side of the attackers. But with the breach being smoked off by Inverted, they're probably going to have to find another way in. Never mind, Toph's just going to take him out with another nice shot, looking like a nice fragmite as opposed to the support player. But the bandit is down below waiting for the plant, but his nitro cell is gonna miss because that princess is in another castle. Toph is on the other site, tapping away on the diffusers. Your boy Flawless is still holding the breach, taking out Arcturus, and might not know that there's another player coming with the main stairs, but Bladehawk will get one kill, but not quite enough to take it out, as Toph will finish off a pretty dang good round with 3 kills and a plant, as well as breaching. I'd say that that's pretty good cost on his analysis.
Oh yeah, that man did his job plus more. Usually as a support, you're not really, I guess, expected to get a whole ton of kills, but boy, oh boy, did Tofa show us just how it's done. Now they'll head back down to Church Arsenal. Church Arsenal has been won by All4One. In fact, that's their only defensive site that they've won, I believe. A good job to tie things up. We are going into round 11, 5-5, which means someone will be walking out of here with the big ol' match point looming over their heads. They'll have to work from the bottom. Overtime definitely seems like a big possibility here. Let's see if that's what's going to happen. Premier looking really good on their attack. All4One slowed down a considerable amount.
Yeah, they've slowed down just a little bit, which you wouldn't expect on the defensive side for a map such as Clubhouse, but maybe they're just flipping the script fully. We've seen more attacker wins than losses so far, and it's been sort of consistent on both sides, leading me to believe that both of these teams are just more confident with those attacking rifles in hands, showing off their gunplay, just overpowering any strat that the defenders have been able to employ. They've just flooded into sight, won gunfights, gotten the diffuser down in 1 round. As simple as that. The roam game hasn't been quite effective enough. It's maybe found a kill or 2, killed a little bit of time, but I would like to see them go just an extra step beyond, because that's going to be the real difference maker in really close rounds such as this. You don't want to have sort of a lot of people left alive at the end on the 20-second meta, because at the end of the day, defenders don't have as good of weapons as attackers, so you can see double and triple kills really pop off in quick succession if there's too many people left unchecked.
Yeah, the man advantage will play a big piece of the puzzle. And bleeding down the time is always huge. Oh my goodness, Toph with a kill onto Inverted, immediately taking out the smoke. This is really bad news for All4One. They just lost a pretty essential piece to the puzzle that could have helped them win this round out and given up a lot of control, as that dirt tunnel will now be able to be pushed in from quite easily. Gosh, what a pick. Right off the bat, we do have Bladehawk watching now. He's moved over to try to cover where his friend was killed. But they're beginning already to take down some of these vertical controls. They're not really worrying about the top floor that much, as I guess they just haven't seen the roam game from All4One as often as they thought they would. A nice shot there. Will take out a camera as IQ's doing her thing. Very, very nice to see the actual gadget in use as more vertical control is established, really wanting to do damage here. They've brought Buck to do his job, and then as well as a couple of breaching charges on the ground can always mess you up. Look at the quick swap, I guess, from the skeleton key. Beautiful shot from Loki, who finds his 12th kill of the game. He will be traded out as Og finds him to avenge Bladehawk's death. Now it is a 3v4 with the advantage going to Premier. Let's see if he can find another head here. Toph looking for it, does find it. Great headshot onto Og. Now a 2v4. Things looking oh so dire for All4One. Premier looking to make a very nice comeback. Their attacks have been just about perfect, it seems. They've only lost one so far, and now a lot of pressure coming in, but Arcturus will find one. Nomad goes down. He's got to find a couple more. Plant ready to go from Toph. However, Mob finds one. Can he find two? No, Jello finds Arcturus. Now it's a 1v2 with Mob. Diffuser down. He will drop one person. Now it's all up on Toph to finish out. He's going to run away a little bit, try to come sweep around. Let's hope he's not too late and the diffuser doesn't just get finished. However, looks like Mob's going to be a bit scared of what can happen here. Toph really playing a quite off now. Let's see if he's going to be able to move in. Yeah, he's ready to just jump down that hatch as soon as he hears the defuse happening. And with a couple seconds left, he's going to have to start in about 5 seconds from now if he wants to be able to disable with time. Now it's going to happen here. He's got to stick it. It takes about 7 seconds. And just as time runs down, Toph kind of bullies him, lets him think he can stick it, and then shuts him down with a great headshot. Toph right now seems to be the MVP of this Premier team alongside Loki.
That was actually perfectly played by Toph. That was a wonderful rotate to a point where I'm sure that the smoke wasn't, or the mute, pardon me, the smoke died really early. The mute was probably completely ruling out vertical play out of that equation because he was over by main stairs, so there was no way he went up main stairs to kitchen unless he sprinted across blue. He probably would have seen him. Where the heck did he go? He could have been sitting in dirt. Nope, he rotated all the way around to the hatch like an absolute gigamind and flexed his brain muscles here, showing off all the surface area inside of their folds and really getting a great round. He got, I think, 2 kills, planted the bomb again, as it's just been the Toph show on the support. I'd love to see this man's on an Ash sprinting in with a superior weapon, but if you can do it on Thermite, why worry about any other operator? Give that to somebody else who might quote-unquote need the gun a bit, because Toph is a premier fragmite at this point.
13 kills is highest the entire lobby. Loki not too behind. Neither is Arcturus, who's really stepped up. Looking at the kill totals, though, it kind of does look like the Toph and Loki show, and then it drops down. Jello with 7, definitely not bad at all. 5 from your boy Flawless and 3 from Nomad. On the other hand, kind of a little bit more tightly grouped, as we see 2 7s, an 8, 5, and then an 11 with Arcturus. So I think both teams are matched up pretty well, but like you said, the big brains of Premier are just winning this out time and time again. You saw it with the Maestro, and you saw it again with that great vertical play that just boggled the mind of the lone survivor. Match point here. Premier has turned things around with a chance to end it with a single strike. Nomad looks to start that off, takes down their top fragger. Things have never looked better, perhaps, for the opening pick.
Yeah, that's almost as good of an opening pick as getting a smoke early, but most of the time that's not going to happen. So getting the hot hand off the weapons here, taking out Arcturus, who has been putting the team on his back just a little bit, is always going to be welcomed into the arms of these Premier attackers, especially when it didn't cost that much time. It was about 20 or 30 seconds into the round. They already have the man advantage, and they're starting the utility quick, knowing that All4One wants to go for this turtle strat. They're not even worried about any roam presence. They're just going to go straight in. They're going to have a lot more time to play with and be able to correctly analyze exactly where each of these All4One defenders are going to be lying down below.
Yeah, it is really, really interesting, and actually quite a good play to just not worry about the roam clear. It's very risky, as if they do have the roam upstairs, they can just come down and totally surprise you, but they've really not been worrying about that. And like you said, it allows for a lot more flexibility with the time, and time management's huge here. Inverted's going to stop the time management of Nomad, shut down the Zofia. Very nice shot. He is low on HP, though, just above 25. Arcturus has been killed, so it is a 4v4 as the time continues to tick-tock away. Very, very slow.
But the pressure is starting to build up as there's a player rotated all the way up. New Blue could find a bit of a flank, as well as the smoke is still alive. Nope, Mob's gonna catch a few bullets and say nope, 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 or run back to his hidey hole down below. That SMG-11 is quite formidable on the close range, but you don't want to be taking those longer range engagements because it can get a little bit squirrely with the recoil. But the drone work is going to go out and find that there is indeed a smoke inside of dirt. The drone is going to get taken out, but Jello has to pressure this regardless. He knows he needs that crossfire being set in and all of the pressure coming out of dirt, making sure this smoke can't just sit here safe. He's going to be burning away more and more of those toxic babe canisters before getting swung out by the IQ, and Jello will find the kill onto Inverted. Now there's just a lot of utility dumping out. Loki has been put in the down but not out state, but Toph is tapping away on that diffuser as Jello picks up a second kill from Dirt. Your boy Flawless takes out Mob, trying to leap through a hole, and Toph's gonna deliver what seems to be just nice and justified, as he's done everything. He's going to tap away on the diffuser and tap away on the heads of the final players, isolating out the win for Premier. No need for overtime when you can just finish it up and frag everybody.
So, I mean, starting off, it was a 4-2 off the offense for All4One, All4One, excuse me. That was a really good job, but I mean, just look at this. Let's go from 7 to 12 real quick. It goes Premier, All4One, Premier, just like that. It was fantastic. It was a great job, and quite frankly, what a beginning to this series. The question is, does All4One have the power to go ahead and take the map that belongs to Premier? They have to win on Theme Park if we're going to see our final map. I don't know. We're going to take a little bit of a break. We'll be back right after then, so don't go too far, as this has been an insane matchup between two great teams. Let's find out who's going to stand up on top. Gentlemen, welcome back to ESAC. Been a short time that we've been away, but I have missed you with all my heart and soul. I'm joined here with CDAPS, and we're getting ready to watch Premier versus All4One, or rather All4One versus Premier, heading into Theme Park. This is Premier's map choice. They wanted to go here, and they won big back on Clubhouse. CDAPS, what are your predictions for this matchup?
Well, I think of Clubhouse and Theme Park as very similar maps in the way that teams play them. They definitely go more towards the right side where utility is just so important and impactful. But with Theme Park being a newer map, it's just I feel like since Premiere chose this map, then they definitely have something in their back pocket, and they're going to be prepared to the high heavens with everything, especially seeing as they ban the Havana. Seeing something spicy like that makes me think, what do they know that I don't?
Yeah, these guys are really proficient at this map. I think I said before a while ago, they love going to Theme Park. They know how to attack it. And if you remember, man, this used to be an incredibly hard attack when you were facing, I think it's Armory, or no, Throne, the Throne Room down on the first floor where there's like almost no soft wall or no soft floors above you and everything can be reinforced. It can be so tough. These guys do it so well. Echo and Mira off the board following the Thatcher and Hibana. We're ready to go. I'm excited to see if All4One can keep up with Premier on their own map. You've seen All4One perform great before. Archers especially has been a great fragger, but Premier, I think they're going to be feeling confident. They're going to be feeling comfortable. And the big question is, All4One, can you stop them?
Yeah, main thing is going to be stopping Toph, the man who has done it all, the support who borders the line on Fragger, the Thermite, the Goggle Man, the one who strikes fear into the hearts of all defenders due to his versatility. He can blow a wall, he can plant a diffuser, but he can also kill you even just with a stone cold look in your direction. And he will be brought once again, as traditionally a hard breach will be in every single lineup because there's not that many of them, and they're very, very important to get rid of all of those pesky reinforcements, 10 exactly on the defensive side, protecting those very important walls, those entryways into sight, those long angles that can be opened up. And the main ones I'm looking at on this map are the walls that Og is reinforcing. That's the yellow wall. That's one that's very important, and that's why a Kaid Claw is going to be dedicated to that area, making sure that it can't easily be taken away. And that's actually a really, really cool Electro Claw spot. It's not even on the wall, it's all the way to the side, but that radius still reaches, making it probably very hard to find from above if you're taking vertical control, which most likely low key will be taking and blasting away with that master key shotgun mounted underneath his rifle.
Yeah, talking to low key, he's another one to watch out for.
5 seconds to insertion.
Yeah, big frag list. So here we go. It's round one starting up. 3 minutes on the clock means they've got about, let's see, they've got about 2 minutes and 40 seconds to just kind of do whatever. And then 20 seconds to go in for attack is how it usually seems to go. I'm excited to find out where they're going to play from. Like you said, most likely trying to get the vertical control. Toph will try to open up some walls after utility is wasted and these guys are feeling confident. If you remember last map, they ended up just forgetting about the top floor roam clear when they were attacking for Church Arsenal, and they would just send it right onto the first floor, which was actually a pretty cool strategy as it worked out despite the riskiness. You've got 4 guys here kind of chilling on OBJ. Where is the 5th man? There he is, Arcturus over in the cocaine room doing his thing.
Yeah, and it just hasn't been a lot of roam presence coming out of All4One, which maybe I would like to see employed just a little bit. They're giving up a lot of map control into Premier, who have been molding it and really using it to their full potential, such as we're seeing Jello go upstairs, trying to just blast away all of these pesky gadgets down below. Sees a Evil Eye, I believe. Yep, that is an Evil Eye that's also protecting the breach. Could have been in a nice sneaky position to blast away a Thermite charge if the keen watching eyes of the IQ didn't find it, but actually will. And unfortunately for Og, that Nitro Cell is gonna miss out on Drew Flawless as he was droning. Another explosion breaks free as the breaching charge reigns true on the sound side of things. Now is able to find that electric call, but won't be able to shoot it from that angle. as he's going to have to get right on top of it. And that actually might be an insanely difficult to shoot Electric Claw, which would be why it's in that location. It's actually puzzling both Jello and Low-Key, and Jello's going to go down at the hands of Bladehawk, so that IQ scanner won't be used anymore, but he's going to get refragged out in quick succession by Low-Key. A 1-for-1 trade, but the Kai's utility was already placed down, so from that side, I would say All4One got a good end of that deal.
Well, I mean, just the amount of time that they were wasting on trying to find that claw, as well as it knowingly placing them in a position where they can absolutely punish them, is such a cool play from All4One. I really, really like it. They found a nice place as that Evil Eye will be taken down. There's Arcturus hiding, chilling in the arcade toilet, but he's being watched by Nomad. Let's see if someone's going to swing on out and try to take him. Nomad is ready to go. He does win the fight, but Arcturus takes down Toph. Oh my goodness, what is happening here? Mob finds Nomad, and things are going absolutely bonkers. It's now a 3v2 in favor of the defense. Premier, with just a few seconds left, don't look like they're even going to be able to get into sight. And that's just going to most likely be the round finished and done.
Yeah, and you don't want to challenge an Alda when there's about 3 or 4 seconds left in the round, because like we said, 81 bullets. With that rate of fire, you can just hold mouse 1 and make a doorway into a Negev jump rope if you play CSGO. Not a very fun position to try to peek, and that's exactly what happened to the Buck as he met his end at the end of the round. But as the clock struck triple zeros, the Cinderella story was over. That carousel turned right back into a pumpkin, and that left All4One the victors for the first sight of the map. And they'll be going upstairs this time. No more first floor shenanigans. They're going up to Bunk Daycare, trying to put this squabble between these two teams to rest. And we're seeing a Twitch picked for the first time as your boy Flawless wants to take the French operator. That F2 does a whole lot of damage, but can be a little bit hard to control sometimes since the recoil nerf hit it kind of hard.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
Let's talk about that last round for a second, because I think All4One had a fabulous play with the Electro Claw placement that was so tough. It made them waste so much time that they didn't have any time left to really breach any walls. I mean, just saw the one guy who faced the Elda had to walk right through a doorway, which is almost always a death sentence. So just I'm still hung up on such a great play by All4One. Very exciting to see that ingenuity and just creativity come out here on Theme Park. But this is a little bit more of a difficult site to defend. Usually the rotation will be Armory Throne. We'll go up here to Daycare, and then we'll move over to the office is usually what they do. Teams tend to avoid the old Coke Stash just because it can be harder to defend. But let's see if they do end up going there. All4One looking to win 2 in a row, while Premier would love to shut these guys down real quick and keep it a 1-1, tied up nice and close.
Yeah, but anything can happen, as we've seen Premier be able to string together quite a few rounds on difficult to attack sites at the hands of just superior gunplay and team skill together. But All4One definitely has a new life in their back pocket, as they were able to finally stop a little bit of the momentum and win a defense for the first time in seems like forever. But they're going to have to try to do it again, and this time upstairs. There's a nice horizontal roam coming out towards the cash room and vault that the Premier attackers are going to have to go through if they want to make their way into sight. The boy Flawless has entered in towards the cash stacks and is trying to use that ACOG to clear these long angles over towards the waiting room coffee lounge. But there's some reinforced walls in their way, as well as a couple of players for All4One sitting over there. Bladehawk is playing over towards the soda machines at top yellow and has a nice long angle opened up to supplement Arcturus, who's sitting in the vault. Could swing out at any moment and is just sitting, waiting patiently for any audio cues, maybe some gunshots, maybe some footsteps to rain out, as the mute jammers are also denying any intel that the Premier taggers are trying to gather.
Yeah, this is a very, very lot of tension in the air between the two. I'm not sure what kind of tension, man. Maybe they'll have a nice romantic dinner after this, but there's definitely something in the air tonight. And your boy Flawless chilling here in the showers, wants to go drone out, trying to take out the mute jammer. Looks like he did, but there's still a little bit of a spider to worry about. The one that takes your drones and just absolutely demolishes it. I think that was a sacrifice drone used. to let the Mozzie in, or not the Mozzie, excuse me, let the Twitch drone in. The shock drone will find the position of Mozzie. Arcturus is now known. However, Mozzie is down first. Will he be finished off? Looks like he tries to crawl to safety, but your boy Flawless does take down Arcturus is as well. Beautiful shot as now Bladehawk is getting a little bit litty. C4 is going to miss as now in basically 3v4, or excuse me, 3v5. We'll see if Mob can be picked up. That's going to be big here as look at the control of site. It has all gone to Premier. They're totally in there, and this is going to be real tough. Bladehawk does find one. Your boy Flawless will drop. However, oh my gosh, Toph, Jello, and Jello. What just happened there? Just 3 kills right in a row that leaves Bladehawk left alone. The poor guy's just got an SMG. He's going to find a triple kill. Takes down 2. He's got 2 more to find, both of them at full HP. With 13 seconds left in the round, they're going to be able to get the plant down quite quickly here. It's tough doing just that, but it's a 1v1. He's on the quad kill looking for the ace. Can he find it? Oh my goodness, Bladehawk so low. Toph has been one of the top fraggers in the game, and he gets shut down. Toph continues to just reign supreme and end what could have been an ace clutch. Oh my goodness. What a job from both teams.
Yeah, that right there is winning around by the skin of your teeth. Sure, you had a 4v1, but it almost crumbled just as easily as you took that lead. And that's why you can't count anybody out, especially if you have that SMG-11 shotgun combination. Anything in close range is your fight to lose. That SMG-11 just can tear through people, as we saw 2 kills at the top of yellow, as well as another player just foolishly enough to swing the mute, who was definitely feeling himself just a little bit. And with that surge of confidence, All4One's actually going to go straight back to bunk daycare, trying to right their wrongs and get the round into their advantage this time.
So let's see what they can do differently. They gave up control, it seemed really fast, and there were a whole lot of kills. If it wasn't for Bladehawk and his seriously cool ability to just frag out and get a quad kill, that would have been a very, very different round where it would have been a pretty much heavy-handedly like a 4-1 that they could lose and then just have 4 people up when the plant goes down. Not what you want to see there. So I'm interested to see how they change this up. It looks like they might be going a little bit over here into kind of the office area, as well as I believe that is, I can't think of the word for it, man. Initiation, I believe, is that other room there. So they're going to try to do that real quick to make sure they can get everything set up. Initiation, it is. Thank you for the confirmation, Kaiser. Sometimes I be dumb like that. Tied up still, All4One would love to take the lead back, but Premier is such a good team. Both of these teams are so good. It's so exciting to watch. 5 kills from Bladehawk so far with just 3 rounds. Well, I guess technically 2 rounds in. Phenomenal. Let's see if he can continue to do stuff like this before the guys in Premier start really rolling. And you know what? We've seen them before, and you don't want to mess with these guys once they get rolling.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but calls on this map just seem like old theme parks, a absolute fever dream, as I just hadn't played the map in so long, and now it's back. It's better than ever, and it's very, very, very different to what it used to be. But that's why we're seeing it on the competitive stage here. It's a really great map, and big shout out to the devs here over at Ubisoft for their great rework. But a very similar roam is going to be employed by All4One once again. They're trying to lock down this eastern side of the map that Premier really wants to push towards. They've started all their attacks on this side, and most likely just a lot of teams, how they attack is just very slow and methodically on this way. They have one path, and they take the necessary map control for that and are able to sort of span out based on the taking almost like mid-control, quote-unquote. If you can take control of initiation, you can go down yellow stairs, you can go down dragon stairs, you can kind of go anywhere in the map as long as you're able to effectively clear out roamers such as Arcturus, who once again is in the vault just waiting patiently for anybody to try to peek him, try to challenge him. He's got that commando in his hand, can definitely do a good amount of damage with that, as well as a nitrocell in his back pocket. Toph is at a bit of a stalemate with Og sitting behind the shield on the Wamai, but your boy Flawless is going to end the stalemate here, taking out the Mozzie inside of Vault and exposing the side of Og, who now feels the pressure mounting around him.
Yeah, this is a unfortunate situation. Arc has not been on what he was before, and Toph takes another Bladehawk fall. The almost clutch master of the previous round, is now dead and gone. Og still feeling a lot of that pressure. This is going to crumble real quick unless something crazy happens. Og trying to find a kill, but Taupe is continuing to shut them down. The double kill so far on the round, it's inverted and Mob left alive. The Jaeger hunting for something big. He's roamed quite a bit of the way off site, and he's looking to swing around and punish these guys from the side. Look at all those outlines there. He could definitely do a lot of work if he's able to perform. So, Toph finds another inverted, goes down. Mob finds your boy Flawless. It is now a 1v. Plant is going down. Hunted is he, though, as everyone coming for Mob, and it'll be Jello who finds the final bullet onto him. What a great job right now that Premier is doing. Fantastic work in denying the retake. It was just worked out perfectly for him.
And that's essentially that, or not essentially, that is 2 straight successful attacks on the Bunk Daycare bomb site for Premier. Still looking strong on the attacks, but not quite as strong as on Clubhouse, but still taking the lead on any map on the attacking side, besides maybe Coastline, is a feat in itself that deserves to be celebrated. But we're going to be going back down to Throne Room Armory, where we saw All4One actually be successful at the hands of essentially that Kaid Claw. Is something I'm going to rave about, because not like it stopped the breach, and it also technically got a kill, as both of the players were just really struggling to get rid of it from above the buck and the IQ. And ultimately, when you're making all that noise up there trying to breach and get that claw away, that's where an easy C4 is gonna rain from down below and take away your life in a explosive mess.
Talking to C4, we've got 3 in the pockets of Arcturus, Og, as well as Bladehawk. So we'll see if that's going to be a big news to watch here, as a couple of these hatches will be reinforced. Want to make sure it's not too easy to jump on down into this lovely arena of doom. Let me tell you, man, this is a great site. And as when this map first came out, I would play Legion, and I would just chill right next to the little furnace there. Throw down a couple of those beautiful Legion goo mines right there, and I would just sit there and wait, and you have no idea how many silly people walked in. I do that because I have no skill, but it felt good because I got kills.
Yeah, getting kills definitely feels good, and we've seen a lot of kills already come out on the side of Toph, as once again he's continuing to just be a dominant force. He's at a KD of 5 on the Thermite, just something you don't see every day. And as a support player myself, a Thermite main, I'm always going to shout that out and give the big respect to my man's Toph over on Premier. But this is another nice defense being set up by All4One. They sort of know that they don't have to pressure upstairs as much, as the only executes have to go in towards that A bomb site if they try to get vertical pressure. There's only half of the map here, but only one of the players is gone out of Premier, as Nomad meets his end at the hand of Arcturus's roam over towards the bottom arcade, former main lobby area. That's a good pick coming out of him, and he's just going to rotate again inside of Drug, making that west side of the map his home.
Oh yeah, man, rotations are key for the roamer. Try to keep them guessing, man, kind of like a sniper. You can't just sit in one spot or you're gonna get absolutely wrecked, but move around and they just never know where you are. You're a ghost in the night, and that is what he's trying to do here. Your boy Flawless trying to find a nice easy pick. If someone walks by that doorway, they're gonna get absolutely wrecked, but I doubt many people would do that. About half the round has gone, 1 minute and 15 left in the round, and we'll see just how Premier can deal with this. Last time they struggled so much on this site, it wasn't even funny. A beautiful job by the defense with that Kaid Claw that just worked wonders. And look at the soft destruction there, just trying so hard to get control here as time is beginning to tick down. Very difficult to find people from that vertical control, but when you find them, it is so effective. Unless you get shot from below, then it is just infuriating and anger-inducing. Mob with some bullet holes, watching a long corridor, waiting for someone to be foolish enough to put their foot in his range. He will absolutely shoot them. They'll shoot him. That's what he'll do. As the Kite Claw, or excuse me, not the Maestro Cam, is spotted out. It'll be smashed by Loki. Loki, as well as, has been a little bit slower. Archers as well, kind of slowed down from last game. We'll see if this map they're going to be able to pick it up with just a couple seconds remaining. It's time for push, but Mob shuts down your boy Flawless. Great kill there as it's now Toph. Well, Toph goes down 2 and everyone goes down. Oh my goodness. 2 inverted with 1 as a flawless round comes to fruition for the guys on All4One.
Yeah, and it's just Throne Room is a very difficult site to attack, and that's why All4One gets a flawless round on it. Their roam game was good. They stayed over towards both barrels and bottom arcade stairs. That whole area of the map locked it down. Everybody that tried to creep their way in met their demise, as well as the anchors inside a site were hidden in just all of those nooks and crannies that you can hide inside of. Ultimately, too many angles for the players entering in to check, and they lost their lives at the hands of some really patient and well thought out defense. But with round 5 on the horizon, we're going to see a new site pop into the rotation. This time, Initiation Room and Office. No more bunk daycare for All4One because they weren't able to be successful on it the last 2 times they played it.
Yeah, so this site is actually a lot like bunk. It can be played quite differently though, as you are a little bit further along the map, headed more to a different side of things. In fact, you'll see a lot of players kind of go vice versa. When you're here, you'll play almost in bunk, and then when you're in bunk, sometimes you'll play here, as we saw. I think it was Arcturus back then on the Mozzie who was chilling unsuccessfully there in that in that lovely little vault area. Didn't work for him, but we'll see how they play this. I'm expecting them to go more towards trying to hold a little bit of bunk as well. And we'll see if they extend themselves east further out to kind of stop where these guys can push in. This gives a lot of opportunities for the defense to shut them down before they can really get anything started. But we've seen it so many times before. If you lose the man, that's an entire angle that they were watching gone, and just leaves a nice path for the attackers to funnel in through. Sometimes funneling is good, but others, it just leads to absolute destruction.
Yeah, and the destruction mainly has come in the form of the absolute power of the attacks on these other bomb sites exploited by Premier. They've been able to get in and get their hands dirty as well. But when you've gone to that bottom bomb site, that's where All4One has really shined. But it is sort of expected from that very, very strong defensive position. So you can take here. Arcturus is down below waiting for a C4. And he doesn't seem to know that Nomad is not that far behind him, but he's just going to go up the stairs and start pressuring out the players inside of daycare. That's where Og is laying in wake, waiting for his number to be called, start pressuring these players that are pushing his backside, and some bullets are going to rain through the holes, but one's going to catch the head of Og as Jello gets the first kill of the round, taking out the Wamai. No more of those accumulating magnets to toss out like frisbees.
Yeah, those are definitely pesky, and finding him first is a great kill, but Arcturus finds Jello. Nice little refrag there. That's a good pick as well. The IQ off the board will provide ample safety for your electronic gadgets, and the G8 off the board is always nice. Sometimes you see the commando, but that is a rare sight indeed, and that doesn't happen very often. Loki with another onto Mob this time, taking him down. It's now a 3v4 in favor of Premier. We're all tied up here in round 5, so someone's going to be able to take the lead as we head into round 6, which will be our final round of the half. After that, we'll switch. The question is who will be standing. Right now, All4One at a bit of a disadvantage. They want to find a couple of extra kills if they can. Things have slowed down a bit, but that flurry of action was definitely pretty early in terms of the 20-second meta speaking, but now we are heading into the 20-second meta time as people are preparing to fall on in. Initiation can be a bit difficult to jump into, but once you do it, oh boy, are you in. You see there someone holding that, and they're going to try to do their best to deny this big push. It's coming in just a few seconds. You can feel it. They're ready to go. And the defenders have got to realize that they are absolutely knocking on their door. Perhaps they're knocking on the door of death. Beautiful shot from Nomad, finds ahead of Bladehawk. That's going to put so much pressure now onto All4One as they just don't have the man count. They need to be able to find frags. They need to take people out. Ultras will find one. Your boy goes down. However, Plant is now going to be hit. He's got to find a couple more. Inverted as well as up. The beautiful Alda, as always, is a great gun. He'll be taken down and finished by Nomad. Arcturus, last stop standing in a 1v3, not looking good, and he'll be finished off by Toph. Even though he had low HP, the headshot will certainly take care of the job.
Really well done once again, as just there was too much pressure coming out of Premier. These second floor bomb sites are their second home, and they're very, very comfortable on pushing them, and that's why they're winning the rounds. It was looking quite good as All4One as the time was starting to slowly dwindle away, but the pressure kept on mounting, and the gunfights were, at the end of the day, won by those players known as Premier Esports. The Wamai gets flashed once again, teasing us. What a great operator. What a snazzy, well-dressed man. But he's going to be sixth picked away for the short Australian known as Mozzie. Can't make any jokes about him being the super shorty because he lost his secondary shotgun. But Castle yoinked that up, and we've seen a rise in his play due to that extra utility on the back end. Mozzie, I guess, didn't need it, so I guess he walked so Castle could run.
Oh, man. You know, that shows a true friend there. Gives up his super shorty, his little shotgun, his prized possession so that Castle can be a little bit more effective on the battlefield. Thank you, Mozzie. You've done a good thing. You know, something we haven't seen in a while is the Mozzie pizza skin. I kind of miss it. It was always fun watching the Mozzie pizza skin run around in this serious, competitive kind of gameplay. But that's all right. We're good. We're ready to go. Round 6 coming up. All4One would love to tie it up. This is the final chance they have. They've struggled on defense, but Premier has shown themselves to be very proficient attackers. It looks like they're going back to initiation. They are unable to head down to Armory as they just won it a few minutes before. So let's see if they can change what went wrong and make something happen. CDAPS, what do you think has to happen here for them to successfully win on this site?
They need to have a little bit longer lives on that horizontal roam. Og died just a little bit too early for my liking. Also, not really getting any damage on anybody towards that side of the map. And actually, they've just abandoned it entirely, with only Inverted playing down below. Could potentially flank up Arcade Stairs if he gets the correct calls. Bladehawk is also all the way extended through to the top of Dragon Stairs. I'm going to say no to that barbed wire. A little bit of blue on blue utility action going away, a little -10 in his back pocket, but he doesn't care. He doesn't want his sound broadcasted to everybody. Jello is now able to correctly identify all the utility on the defensive side that's been brought to the table. Gonna be trying to get rid of that as one Maestro Cam bites the dust at the hands of the Zofia Lifeline. Over Arcturus does have a rotate hole to the top of Yellow Stairs from the vault. He could swing out and start shooting with that Alda, laying all those 81 bullets of pain downrange, but he's probably going to want to stay alive, as we've seen Maestro have quite a few clutches under his belt as an operator in this pool of players at this point. Toph is going to be using the Gigamind thermite trick here, as you can actually breach that wall from a perpendicular angle and open up the right side. Yes, he does. Absolute great play from the support once again. Toph flexing his knowledge and showing all of us support players and doing us proud.
Oh my goodness, that is a great one. Nomad's going to be able to find mobs already. A nice start, however, Inverted immediately. Toph picking up another kill. I don't know if he needs many more kills. He's been doing so well recently. That puts the advantage severely in Premier's lead. Not too severely, but definitely a little bit, and make that a lot of bit as Og goes down to Jello. Another gunfight here. He tries to jump around. He will jump around. Bladehawk finds Loki. Now in a 2v3 situation. Make that a 2v2 after Arcturus with the Alda takes another. The plant is down and 35 seconds remain. They've got to be able to push in somehow. Both of the defenders have taken about half of their life away. Or that much damage, and we'll make that all their life as your boy Flawless and Jello finish him up. Round 6 goes to Premier as we see yet again another 4-2 attacking half from Premier.
And on a map like Clubhouse, you've seen a sort of swing from the 4-2 really hard, definitive. Yes, it's super defender sided with how teams have been able to really get used to the nuances of attacking. But on a newer map such as Theme Park, it's just you really do want to say that it's defender sided. So seeing 4 wins for the attacker is something I haven't seen yet and could be indicative of just Premier really having this as their map. They're more comfortable on it and they're definitely showing, and it's also reflecting in the scoreline.
I think it's a really cool strategy to kind of try to master the newer maps before other teams have a good chance to. These guys I feel like are experts on theme park, and if we could see a team really try to do the same onto like Oregon and just become the masters of Oregon. And we kind of saw that in our last game where they were doing so well on Oregon. I forgot which team that was, but we've seen it. So it's kind of interesting because you have new maps, and if you can really adapt quickly, then you'll have that advantage if they don't get banned out immediately when the when map picks are happening. So, good job on Premier of really being able to work hard and get this place figured out. They are going to lab, which is an interesting choice. You don't see it too often because it's really, really easy to get into site. There are windows that you can just hop directly into. So we'll be interested to find out what they're going to do. The castle will help slow that down, but of course you have the Zofia pick from Bladehawk. The good thing is you're wasting utility, and that is the whole idea, is slow these people down. Let my people go. Just kidding. Let's see how it goes. Round number 7 coming up. All4One need a big win here to keep themselves close.
Yeah, trying to keep it close is probably the best bet that All4One has. They need to replicate the sort of success that Premier was able to have on their attacks and just keep the ball rolling onto their side. They're at the end of the day, it's their fights to lose on the attack. They've got to properly pick out the locations of where Premier is laying in wait. They've got to win their gunfights. They've got to take the map control. And if they're going to win a site, starting it off on Drug Lab would be a good step in the right direction. The drone work is coming in towards the backside, towards Throne Room, but that's not the bomb site, but it's castled off nonetheless. They spot the rotate holes in all the barbed wire, as there's a really complicated setup coming out of Premier, really big horizontal room, but that's going to be mitigated by the Jaeger finding his way all the way upstairs, trying to rejoin his roaming partner and your boy Flawless. That has also Jello is upstairs, but Bladehawk doesn't care as he takes out Nomad and Jello, picks up 2 kills for the price of 1.
Wow, what a deal, man. That doesn't happen often. It's kind of like a flash sale for you. But that puts the advantage into All4One's hands. Like you said, now this is their attack to lose. Minute and about 25 to go means that we are in prime place for the attack to begin to start getting feisty. They want to fight for good positioning. They want to get ready to enter in, waste all of their utility, trying to find some feetsies here. Look at this. He's hunting. Inverted wants it. Inverted is playing the role that that Toph so lovely played, and there it is. Inverted with a good kill onto Low Key, takes him down once again. 5v2, make that a 5v1 after Inverted finds Toph, and now what is up with the thermites just going off? It'll be a great shot from Mob to take the final kill as a flawless round is matched. All thanks to the guys on All4One.
Yeah, they are not going to take this one laying down. They're going to try to claw their way back into this game, continue the pressure, and ultimately fight and start competing in. And with a scoreline of 3-4, it's looking a little bit more even. They had a 2-round lead before, but cutting that to 1 is cutting it in half. That's how math works. 2 divided by, well, not going to go all the way into that, but 2 divided by whatever. Math is hard. I'm an engineer, but numbers scare me sometimes. But we aren't here to talk about numbers. We're here to talk about Siege, and we're going to talk about, I guess, the only number being the 2nd floor here as we go upstairs to Bunk Daycare, a site that wasn't very strong on the side of All4One's defenses, but maybe that script can be reversed, seeing it's strong on their offenses, unless Premier has a little bit extra in their back pocket on their strat. Might not be the strongest site we've seen tonight.
Oh, it definitely is not. Compared to Throne Armory, that place is just a tank, man. You need a whole army to get in there, and figure out that nice aid spot. That could be really cool to see it used against All4One. The old reverse, the Uno reverse card. So you see they're playing bunks, but they're doing a lot of work up here at initiation and office area. And that is just trying to control that vertical, or rather that horizontal push. They want to make sure they can slow them down and kind of get the pressure on the attackers before they're forced deep into their own territory. And it can work out so well as it makes them kind of harder to push. We'll see if it'll work out. All4One wanting to win this to tie it up to a nice, beautiful 4-4. All Premier could run away a little bit closer to the match point. They have the series in their hand. If they win, it would be over. So going to be interesting to see if All4One can hold on and take a big dub here, keeping it in the realm of ties.
No, that was actually a really, really great pre-placed nitro coming out of the Valk of Toph, as that is an area that is very high traffic towards that lounge. But more importantly, it's an area that a lot of people like to stack up in and drone, because it's typically a safe corner if you clear that side of the map. So could maybe even pick up 1 or 2 kills if the cards and the stars align. But Blade's going to be blasting away that castle barricade and also revealing a pathway into sight, but not before the bandit is close on that shield. Could swing him at a moment's notice as he gets droned and some bullets go over his head, as some stun grenades are going to go out, get taken by the Wamais, but the shield also goes away, as well as the life of your boy Flawless hitting the ground from the headshot of the Zofia. And now it's looking to be in the hands of the attackers as the man advantage goes their way. There's a whole lot of pressure coming from a whole lot of different angles, but Nomad is going to be on the flank, but not before being spotted out on a drone, so his stealth level drops from 100 to 0.
Yeah, you just lost all of that. So, like you said, advantage does go a little bit to All4One being in the... But that changes so quickly. We've seen it before that you can just get kind of evaporated in different situations like these. So it'll be interesting to see how they can finish it out. Bladehawk says, we are not being evaporated. Finds the double kill as he takes down Loki. Great shot as he'll continue, but no, his push is denied by Jello. Great headshot there from the Wamai, making sure that things are going to be a little bit closer with the man advantage. Still in All4One's hands. Time beginning to tick down lower. They need to try to find a way into sight. Nomad is watching and waiting, but Mob will find Nomad instead. What a shot from the beautiful Mob as they'll continue on in. The G8, a fantastic weapon. We've seen it time and time before, but with 20 seconds left and 2 men defending, can they stop the storm? Good shot there from Toph. He'll take down 1. He takes down 2. The double kill from Toph. Easy. It's a day's work for him. He has no problems doing it. He's an absolute monster, a savage, a scary person. Toph finds Og, and now it's all on Inverted. They had such a lead, but it was decimated by Toph. However, defenders will win as Inverted goes down. What a great play here. Toph leading the charge, even though they were down a whole lot of men.
Like, all I can say at this point is bruh. Toph is just a fragger. Has he hit double digits yet? If we can flash the scoreboard real quick. Yep. Actually, yeah, he has 11. So
Bladehawk not far behind though.
Yeah, there's a couple people on the other side. Bladehawk especially has hit 10. He's crossed double digits. He's trying to keep up with Toph, but just the rest of the supporting cast for Premier is really lifting up the best of the team. And that's why they have that 2-round advantage. Toph is going to be flashing the Valk once again, throwing those cams all over the place and probably trying to play with the little anti-vertical control with that nitro cell once again in the back pocket. People like the Sledge are going to be trying to hammer away and do some Home Depot style renovation up top, making it very difficult to play downstairs in the A bomb site. But that's sort of the only vertical pressure you can get. Over in this B bomb site of Throne Room, that's everything above that is hard wall. That is some hard concrete that you can't get through with those traditional soft breachers. So that's why this site is actually very good, because typically on sites on the first floor, your main weakness is going to be people can kill you from above. They can make it incredibly difficult to feel quote unquote safe. It can make you feel just pressured from all sorts of angles. But on throne room, you can just sit there and not worry about above. You only have to worry about the couple of doorways that are going to ultimately be rushed at the end, unless a wall is breached, which in this case is a little bit easier said than done.
Definitely. No, Maverick, or excuse me, Maverick was banned. Was he? Where are the bans? I know Thatcher was. Well, Maverick banned. No, it was Hibana who was banned as well. So we are seeing the Maverick. I'm dumb. He's right there in front of me. Boo, boo, boo. So the Maverick can open up a little bit easier, and that is going to help them a lot. Hey, he's in my place. That's where I go. Jello, very smart player. I like that. Let's see what we can do there. The Kaid looking to hopefully gain some information as All4One is preparing to come in. Premier are just one round away from taking the match point, and then we'll go into match point rather, and then another from winning the series. All4One, I feel like they're a good matchup, but it almost feels like it hasn't shown that way for some reason, because Premier has just been so good, so fun to watch, and just so electrical that even though All4One is a fantastic team, they just don't have the same pizzazz almost. No offense to the great guys in All4One. I think you're fantastic. But right now, Premier looking quite well as they continue their push in. Arcturus, with 10 kills so far, is going to try to change the way this game will go. Really wanting to get something happening here as Bladehawk as well has hit the 10s. Maybe it was Bladehawk and not Arcturus who hit the 10. But we'll see. About half the round has bled away. Who will take round 9 is a very good question that I would like to see the answer to.
Especially with the roam still alive here, Nomad is going to be pre-firing out a player before dropping the hatch, taking about half of the HP away from Mob, pardon me, about 3/4 of it, as the IQ might have the G8, but not having the health, it still makes those gunfights just a little bit more difficult. Your boy Flawless is also still inside Drug Lab in a very, very good position to flank anybody either pushing over towards the bottom of the yellow stairs or over in arcades on the barrel side. Also, Toph is just, again, in another very strong position, willing and able to flank all of these players in All4One. They're stacking on the bottom of yellow. One well-timed flank or nitro cell could spell the end of a heck of a lot of manpower on the All4One side, and Toph is now just slowly creeping. He's just waiting for the timing. He sees the foot of the sledge, but Nomad is going to be the one to take a kill as Toph picks up one onto Og. He takes a good amount of damage, but his impact is still felt as he takes another one onto Inverted. But Bladehawk's going to answer back by taking down Nomad. He's now going to be trying to take out his Valkyrie. He's going to nitro cell right above the door to buy some time, and the time is not going to be in their favor as Toph whips out the Deagle and gives a little tap to Bladehawk, continuing his reign of terror all over the map and pushes Premier to match point.
This dude is insane. Oh my goodness. How do you deal with Dope? He's just such a great player at this point. Just, you can't stop him, it seems like. He's always in the right place. He does all the right things. He's the perfect man. Any girl would want him. And now here on match point, it is a big and tall order for the guys in All4One to catch up. 3 rounds in a row will have to be won, and those 3 rounds will rotate around until we hit Armory again. This is going to be an absolute slogfest for them to get through. Back to Lab Storage. This is the one site so far that they have been successful in attacking. Let's see if they can do it again, or will Premier end it here?
Yeah, there's the potential to end this map here, riding the high waves that you've already made on the back side of your sites. You're back to your first round choice. You've made your rotation. You lost it the first time. You went ahead and switched off of it. But now you're going to try to fix what was wrong last time. Your roam died a little bit too fast. You weren't able to win your gunfights on site. And ultimately, those angles that you opened up, those footholes over towards these giant walls on next to throne room were used against you. I think there was 2 kills coming out of the Zofia, just laying prone, holding an angle with a superior weapon, just tapping away at the shins of the defenders that were really kind of scared and waiting for the ultimate push. It was also really well played by All4One, as they didn't even have a time constraint come out of the backside. They just kind of pushed in, killed everybody. Still a time on the clock, could have planted if they so desired, but didn't need to at the end of the day.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you're another day older. Well, here we go, All4One. A lot catching up to do. The Super Shorty being used to great effectivity here by Loki. The castle doing some work. Let's see if they can finish it right now. All4One in a tough position, but you know what? Some teams excel in tough positions. They do everything a little bit better when life is on the line. If that's his team, then we should be seeing a brilliant comeback. If not, then this is going to be rough. It'll end here. It'll be this if they cannot do something great. Big push coming in from them. They are wanting to make sure that they can get all over this team. They want to get things set up. They want to do a whole lot of throwables, man. They're chucking those bad boys everywhere. And now they're preparing to open things up. But look at this. It's a Mute Jammer. Mute Jammer is now gone. Good stuff. Way to go. Beautiful plays as they continue their push in. Something about Premier, they really do like to hold this almost as if they're holding Armory. And there's your boy Flawless taking down Mob. That's a great start for Premier to start crushing them on this final match point. Can they do so is a good question. All4One have shown us before that they're great players. But at this point, can you stop Toph? Oh, just going to be unaware there. Nomad finds one. And two. No, he does find two. A bit of a trade there with Arcturus. So a nice little shot from the Nomad. Takes down two with him. And now at a 2v4, Og and Blackhawk down are going to have to do all the work they can with a minute left. This is going to be tough.
Yeah, and that's the roam coming alive for Premier, getting 3 kills off the board, as well as just stalling out the attack. There's no hard breach on their side. There's only soft breachers in the form of the Sledge and Zofia, and they're going to have to do the seemingly impossible by taking out the 4 remaining members of Premier. However, they are rotated down to the bottom of Arcade Stairs, but Sledge gets caught with his hammer out. His pants were down, and Flawless will take out Og, leaving it all up to Bladehawk. The top frag for All4One's going to have to be this 1v4 clutch to even attempt to try to pull back the comeback and keep the dreams alive. He doesn't have the diffuser, and the smoke grenades are going out. The timing is right for this, and he's going to get shot through those prone holes as Loki ends out the game and the series. GG's in the chat. Well played on both sides, but Premier reigns supreme at the score of 2-0.
Yeah, what a job there. 7-4 and 7-3 were the two score lines for the first map being Clubhouse and the second being right here on Theme Park. And great job, like you said, to both teams. But, oh my goodness, can we give Toph a medal or something? The guy did so well. I don't know how many kills he got in total tonight, but they were many. Now, I do believe we're going to try to get an interview. I know I skipped that part last time. I was too urgent to say goodbye to you guys, which is my fault entirely. But we'll try to get that interview set up. But C-Dubs, I mean, any words about this series here?
I mean, at the end of the day, Premier just seemed a little bit more comfortable on the map choices. So I would say that wasn't necessarily poor planning on one side, but really good planning on the other. Premier probably just, as soon as those map picks rolled in, they were licking their lips. They were salivating. They're like, yes, this is our time to shine. And shine they did, looking like diamonds in the rough right here. Premier takes both maps in I would say the scoreline didn't reflect how close and back and forth the rounds were. Pretty much every single round was all the way down to the wire. There weren't really many flawlesses. I think there was only 1 or 2 total in the series. A lot of these rounds just came down to the last little bit where ultimately Premier was able to edge it out. But with that, I guess we can plug the tournament series once again, as next weekend, July 26th, Sunday at 2 p.m. Central. That's going to be the second ESA weekend tournament. It's a $5 entry fee for team fighting for a